Mother gives 8-year-old son a bath, but finds that his foreskin is missing. The woman can't help but be shocked, quickly lifts her son to the door, then finds her son is 7 centimeters shorter.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
The woman covers her mouth in horror. The boy, however, looks at her expressionlessly. When the boy says goodnight to her, the woman finally can't help but explode.
Stop saying that! Stop saying that! I'm not your mother! I want my son back!
The boy, however, calmly walks into the room. As for why the boy pretends to be the woman's son, the story goes back 5 months ago. On this Saturday, Christine originally planned to take her son Walter to the movies, but suddenly receives an overtime call from her boss. To avoid losing this job, she has to leave her son alone at home, but after a day of busy work, finds that her son is missing at home. First, she turns the house upside down, then asked his son's friends, even searched all the places his son often went, but still no sign. In desperation, Christine had to call the police, but the police said, missing children need 24 hours to file a case. Christine begged hard. The police had to agree to go out the next morning. This night passed especially long. Finally waited until dawn. When the police arrived, Christine urgently explained the situation. The captain repeatedly emphasized they would definitely bring Walter back on time. But in the blink of an eye, 2 weeks passed. The police station still had no progress. Christine began to feel overwhelmed. He continuously called various police stations, hoping to hear news of his son. The church's pastor heard about this. He called on everyone to help this poor mother, and he denounced the police station's corruption and incompetence through the radio. In the blink of an eye, another 5 months had passed. Under huge public pressure, the captain found Christine. He said her son had been found. Christine was extremely happy. The mother and son meeting was arranged at the train station. It had long been surrounded by the media. Even the director personally came forward to witness the reunion of the mother and son. However, when he saw the so-called son, he was dumbfounded, because that was not his son at all. The captain explained that he had endured 5 months of suffering. There must have been great changes, but as a mother, no matter how much her son changed, she could not fail to recognize him. Did not expect under the captain's inquiry. The boy not only fluently spoke his name and address, hugged Christine's thigh on stage and shouted, "Mom." The captain explained again, "We have all investigated. This is definitely your son." The captain looked at the mini media not far away. "You have to try to accept him. If there are any problems, you can find me anytime. If you do not accept him, he will become homeless." Maybe thinking of her missing son, Christine was forced to agree. The captain hurriedly waved to signal the media to come over. In front of the media, the director began to boast about the police department's ability to serve the people. Christine also forced a smile. The boy in the car had a happy smile. Christine looked worried. Is it a problem with my memory? Or did the police get the wrong person? When the boy got home, he was not polite at all. He ate and drank as he pleased. When the boy took a shower, Christine found that the boy not only had a circumcision, but was also a full 7 centimeters shorter than her son. This showed that the boy was definitely not her son. The next day, Christine arrived at the police station early to explain the situation. But to her surprise, the captain not only did not comfort her, but also emphasized in an extremely impatient tone that the boy was indeed her son. He even said she was a mother trying to escape responsibility. Christine was surprised by the police's actions for the first time. But what was even more outrageous was yet to come. The next day, a so-called expert, arranged by the captain, came to Christine's home. The expert explained that your son is under pressure not suitable for his age, so his height has decreased. As for why the foreskin was cut, it is mostly because the traffickers think it's healthier. Seeing the expert speak nonsense seriously, Christine was stunned. In fact, he doesn't mind temporarily raising this child, but he is more worried about his missing son. He wants to race against dangerous unknowns. The police should not close the case hastily. Unexpectedly, the police not only refused to admit mistakes, but also let the so-called experts talk freely in front of the media, blaming Christine as an irresponsible mother. These issues attracted the pastor's attention. The church has been fighting against the corrupt police department. The pastor hopes Christine can join them. Chris said he doesn't have that kind of vision. He just hopes to quickly prove the boy is not his son. Then the police can act quickly to find his son. But he doesn't understand. Why does the police station prefer to spend time solidifying this ridiculous mistake, rather than looking for their own son? The pastor gave him the funniest truth. The police department cannot tolerate rebuttals. If you want to prove they are wrong, they will stop at nothing to destroy you. It turns out the pastor was not wrong at all. To collect evidence, Christine brought in a dentist. Her son had a gap in his teeth from being mischievous and fighting when he was young, and the dental tissue is unchangeable. But after the dentist's examination, the boy's teeth were intact. Not only that, even the son's teacher stated, "This boy is definitely not Walter," because he not only cannot say his teacher's name, he cannot even find the spot where he sat for over a year. Fortunately, both the dentist and the teacher were willing to testify, and the next thing further strengthened Christine's fighting heart, but at the same time also caused him great pain. In a heavy rain, Chris told the collected evidence to many media. His actions once again put the police station in the spotlight. The captain was instantly furious, immediately ordered someone to bring Christine in through the back door, and not to alert anyone. When Christine arrived at the police station, he emphasized that he was not against the police station, just hoping the police could quickly mobilize to find his son. But the furious sheriff would not listen to this. He cursed loudly and ordered to send Christine to a mental hospital. The flood rushed into Christine's mouth and nose, also stripping away his self-esteem. This was the first surprise of entering the mental hospital. Next, he would not only eat disgusting food, but also hear countless women's wails. Seeing the woman who was driven crazy at 80 and still had to take so-called mental drugs, Christine met a street girl. The woman told him that everyone here offended the police. The reason he came here was that a customer always hit him. After he called the police out of frustration, he found out that the customer who hit him was a police officer. Then he was thrown in here. The woman's words made Christine understand the darkness of the police station again. At the same time, something shocking was happening outside across America. The boy lived on an abandoned farm with his cousin, but the cousin was a perverted murderer. He not only enjoyed torturing children himself, but sometimes forced the boy to do it. They would lure children to different places every time. Whenever they saw a lonely child, cousin will claim the child's family had an accident. Wanting to see the injured parents immediately gets in the car. Children usually have a guard mentality, but often choose to believe when they see the boy in the car. Even more terrifying is, in just 1 or 2 years, more than 20 children have died tragically at cousin's hands. The police take out a stack of photos of missing children in recent years, asking him to point out which were taken by them. As each photo is identified, the police in front are shocked. This includes Christine's son. The police immediately report to the captain, but the captain berates him severely, saying not to cause any trouble for the police station, and orders to bring the child to himself immediately, and must not alert anyone. Just as about to carry out the order, the officer suddenly feels uneasy. He quickly takes the child out of the police station, drove to that farm. As the bones were excavated, the evil in the boy's young heart was also revealed. He broke down and cried, releasing the guilt and helplessness within. Soon the murderer was caught. However, he was exceptionally arrogant. A wild and rampant smile remained on his face, as if declaring his masterpiece to the world. He appeared calm and carefree, seemingly not caring about his judgment, as if death was just an easy game, and his demeanor caused panic among all of Los Angeles, even citizens across the whole of America. How could such a demon exist among humans? But at the same time, it allowed the pastor to exploit and rescue Christine. When he arrived, Christine was fighting with the doctor, either signing to prove the police department was correct, that his own son either accept inhuman electric shock torture. Christine stubborn, unwilling to yield. Great maternal love makes his heart stronger. Fortunately, the pastor arrived in time, completely ended Christine's nightmare here. Just released Christine. He heard on the street that his son might be dead. Huge sorrow made him faint for a moment, but at the same time made him rise up in resistance. He first joined hands with the pastor, found the best lawyer in America, rescued all innocent women in the mental hospital, then sued the police station with evidence. On the day of the trial, grand momentum. A large number of media gathered to report. The public held demonstrations, expressing dissatisfaction with the police station. The audience seats were full. Everyone was waiting. This mother, how to seek justice from the authoritative police station. In the face of the lawyer's accountability, the captain still said indifferently he was innocent. Even repeatedly emphasized, throwing Christine into the psychiatric hospital was because he hindered official duties. He is indeed ill. Moreover, he did not know. He was actually deceived by a child. It turned out just 2 days ago, the fake Walter finally revealed the truth under interrogation. Months ago, someone told him, he looks like Christine's missing son, and the fake Walter really wanted to go to Los Angeles to meet his favorite movie star. Thus, this absurdity came about. How absurd the truth is. But it indeed caused great pain to Christine. The captain's attitude of clearing the matter made everyone present very angry. Chris was even more furious, reddening his eyes. The lawyer questioned indignantly, It is because of your reckless behavior. In order to maintain so-called face, that valuable time slipped away. If earlier, maybe fewer children would suffer. If earlier, maybe these children would not die. The lawyer's words made the captain lose his arrogance. Under everyone's attention, this lawsuit had a relatively fair judgment. The murderer will be executed by hanging in 2 years. The captain is permanently suspended, and the director is also immediately dismissed. In the blink of an eye, 2 years passed. On the day before the murderer's execution, he sent someone to send a telegram to Christine, said to tell him the truth. What does this mean? Isn't his son still alive? In fact, during these 2 years, Christine has not stopped searching. He still occasionally makes calls, asking if there is information about a strange boy, and this telegram undoubtedly rekindled his hope. Christine immediately crossed thousands of miles to the place where the killer is held. Unexpectedly, the killer just said he didn't expect Christine to really come. Then he was no longer willing to say anything. Christine collapsed. He rushed up to question the killer. What is the truth? Did he really kill his son? But the outcome is still difficult to change. The killer still remains unwilling to say a word. Christine squatted on the ground and cried in despair. The iron railing seems to separate him from a good life. The next day, the death penalty is executed. The murderer no longer has the initial arrogance. His legs begin to tremble. He starts counting the distance between himself and death. As the wooden board at the gallows opens, the murderer completely ends his sinful life. But Christine's life is still especially long. Actually, he still wants to believe. His son Walter is still alive. He still hasn't managed to come out. Even when taking the tram, he would gaze outside at the children playing. His own son used to be so lively and cute. In the blink of an eye, 5 years have passed. Walter unexpectedly received good news. A boy claimed he ran away from the farm. That night they found a loose spot in the chicken coop. The three struggled to lift the wire and crawled out. Unexpectedly, the noise was too loud. The demon in the house was disturbed. The boy unfortunately got his foot caught in the iron net. It was Walter who turned back to save himself again. The demon saw and shot with a gun. They scattered because of the terrible gunshot. The boy finally hid in an orphanage. Because he was too scared, he hid for 5 years, until he heard the demon was dead. And recently he missed home too much. Only then did he stand up to reveal the truth. Christine saw through the glass. A happy scene of a family embracing. Tears flowed uncontrollably. He was proud of his son's kindness and bravery. He preferred to believe Walter was still alive. He was just as scared as this child. So he did not appear. The appearance of this child made the seed of hope in Christine's heart sprout wildly. In their afterlife, Christine never stopped searching. The movie Changeling ends here. This film premiered globally in France in 2008. The film is based on a true case in American history. The Chicken Coop murder case tells the story of a working-class single mother, in search of her son, experienced various hardships in her life, but until death, there was no result to the story.